Welcome to the Success School podcast. Today we're talking about turning a one-page document into a seven-figure business. So what to expect from this episode today? I'm going to be giving you 14 key questions on how to build a seven-figure business. This is super essential because it's going to give you all the foundational information you need to run a successful business. Without this, it's going to be very hard to scale to seven figures. So it's really important that you do the groundwork off the bat to make it a seamless process in building a business. Business is never seamless, but these kind of things that I've given you over the last 7 episodes make it a lot easier and give you a really good foundation on how to scale. So we've just started planning our Bali retreat for Success School. So essentially what is going to happen, we're doing a small version of a Tony Robbins style event. We were quite inspired. So when Steph and I first got together after about a year, we went to a Tony Robbins event in Sydney called, I think it was Date with Destiny. They do this it's actually a really intense event. Ours is not going to be that intense. So as soon as you get in there in the Date with Destiny, there's like people dancing and waving and no one's on drugs or drunk for that matter, but everyone's dancing around, having a good time, great vibes. Kind of weird if you're not really into the personal development world. It's kind of a strange thing to get into. And then it's just a lot of like belief, mindset, change work, and it really empowers you and lets you know that you can build the business or life of your dreams with changing your mindset, which I firmly believe now. But they do this really cool thing on day 3 where you actually walk on fire. So you walk on hot coals. So what they do is they lay out, I think it's about 10 meters, and they pour hot coals onto the ground and you walk over them in lines. It's like it's like an empowerment type thing. You go through this meditation process, not meditation, but preparing your body for this thing where you don't actually feel the fire or the heat in your body, which sounds really crazy and really random, but it was honestly like 5 years ago. So my memory is quite sketchy of that. But Tony prepares you for walking on hot coals. And then after that event, you kind of feel like you can do anything. You kind of feel like you're bulletproof and fireproof for that matter. Such a sick event. We're not going to be walking on coals in Bali, but we're running our first Success School Bali retreat in January. And anyone in Success School at the moment, all the foundational members, they get to come for free. So how cool is that? You join Success School and you get to come to Bali for free to run and come on a Tony Robbins style event with me and my wife, which is epic. So at the time of recording this, we have 100 and something in Success School. So I'd imagine there'll be at least 50 or 60 will make the journey to Bali, and we're going to have a sweet time. So we've run a ton of retreats in our life. That's fitness and business. So you're in good hands. So if you want to come, maybe metaphorically walk on fire in Bali with us, we're not actually going to walk on fire, then maybe Success School is something for you. So why do I even talk about that? Well, Tony Robbins, really good entrepreneur. I think he's worth like $400, $500 million, has built a few 7-figure businesses in his time. And I'm almost going to guarantee that he has a business plan and his goals, all the basic information about his avatar, who he serves, why he serves them, how he generates revenue from those clients and avatar is all going to be on a business plan. And that's the point of this episode. I'm going to give you the tools and foundations to build a one-page, very simplistic version of a business plan. I originally got this concept off a mentor of mine, Sean Greeley, and have adapted it for my own needs and my own clients. This is an adapted version of that we're going to go through, and I'm going to take you through that process. The importance of a one-page business plan is it's going to give you a strong foundation for success in your business and life. So without the strong foundations and without a business plan on where this is actually going, you probably won't be very successful and you won't get very far. So I've got 14 questions for you, and I want you to write these down and turn this into a document. The first question is, what does success look like for you? So you need to spend a lot of time giving that quite a bit of detail. So a lot of the times people go into business, they want to build a 6 and 7 business, but they don't know what it's for or what success looks like for them. There has to be an end goal. There has to be a why. There has to be a reason. And what does that actually look like for you? Question number 2 is, who is your perfect client or ideal client in your business? What is their age? Where do they live? What do they do for work? What are their problems and what are their goals? You can probably use this information from the previous episode and pop this in the document. So that's question 2. Number 3, what is your niche or what is your thing? So what industry are you in? Who does it align with? what are the other businesses in your niche? What do they do? You want to be very clear about what's your niche, who you serve, and what you do. You have to have a niche, okay? In American, it's the riches are in the niches, and you need to know what your niche is, or niche in Australian, or niche in American. Question number 4, what metrics measure success in your business? So what are the key metrics that measure success? Is it sales? Is it revenue? Is it profit? Is it client served? Is it leads generated on your website? What are the key metrics of success in your business? And they have to be measurable, okay? It can't be a feeling. Feelings in business don't get you very far. Question number 5, what do you charge? How is it packaged? And is there a session limit? Is there a term length? What does your pricing look like? You want to jot that down. And then in previous episodes, we have discussed profitability. You need to include profitability in there. What is the profitability percentage of that service that you have in there? Number 6, what are your expenses? Okay, so we can have fixed expenses and we can have variable expenses. Fixed expenses will be the ones like subscriptions, rent, electricity, those types of things. If you have an internet business, basically you have no expenses. But if you have a brick and mortar business like a gym, you will have some fixed expenses. And then the variable expenses could be classed as things like having to provide the service or product for your clients. So that'll be a different type of expense that you need to cater for. So we've got fixed and variable expenses. You need to jot them down in the business plan so you know what they are. Question number 7, how many clients or products do you need to sell to hit your revenue targets? So at this point in the podcast journey, you should know what your revenue targets are and how much you want to make. And then you're going to back calculate that. So let's say I make $10,000 per client that I serve and I want to hit $1 million. That means I would have to obtain 100 clients. Okay. So I know that my goal to build a 7-figure business is to obtain or market to or sell 100 clients. So that is how many clients I would need to sell. You need to work that out for yourself in your business. Question number 8, what are the top 3 outcomes of your target market or avatar? We need to note these down. You need to be looking at these when you are designing content or marketing to your ideal client over the next couple of months. Question number 9, how long does it typically take for your client to get the outcome that they come to you for or the product that you're using? So if we are conducting a business coaching program like Success School, how long will it realistically take them to build a 7-figure business if they do everything perfectly? Question number 10. Why should someone choose you over your competitor? What is your competitive advantage? And don't write community or I am a better operator. You're going to have statistics and facts around this, okay? Why are you better than your competition? And if you're not better than your competition, how can you get better than your competition? This is key for success in business. Be the best in your niche. You need to dominate your niche. Question number 11. What problem and pain do you solve for your ideal client or avatar? What is the problem and pain point that you solve for them? You have to be very detailed about this. Once again, your marketing message will depend on how thoroughly you write this question and answer this question. Number 12, what is your sales process from start to finish? So when you get a lead, what happens to the lead? Do you call the lead? Do you text the lead? Do you email the lead? What is the process after that? Do you send them a follow-up? Do you sign them up? Do you send them a contract? And what is the next steps after you sell that person? What does that sales process look like in detail? Number 13, what is your primary A offer and B offer? So generally each business that I work with, I would encourage them to have an A and a B offer. So an A offer for me in a gym setting is a small group training membership, and a B offer could be a free lead magnet to get their details, or a 14-day challenge, 28-day challenge, or a 6-week challenge, something like that. So the main offer is the main thing you sell, and then the B is the secondary to get them in the door. Question number 14, what is your marketing strategy? You have to have a marketing strategy. And I say this in my program, Success School, always be closing. The number one thing you should be doing every single day in your business is marketing and sales and closing deals, because that's what keeps the lights on in business, is making sales and marketing. It should be the lifeblood of what you do. So in my entrepreneurial career, I have started 6 businesses, some successful, some not so successful. I have completed this exact process for one of them. I have no shame in telling you that, and that is Success School. And Success School has been my most successful business to date. I wonder why. Because I put the most effort into it, and my successes over the years have been compounding. I've learned all the lessons like I'm going to teach you on this podcast over the next 50 episodes. But one of the key things is having a very detailed one-page business plan that I can refer back to at all times in the business to realign myself with my North Star or the mission that I'm trying to accomplish. I half did this for Helix Gym, which is, I'd say, my second, maybe third most successful business. I have another marketing agency that does really well and did really well very quickly because, once again, I have all the tools, knowledge, and hacks to build a successful business very quickly. So I have started 6 businesses, one very successful. Well, actually, all 3 of the ones I currently operate are very successful. But I want to ask you a question. Doing this process on the 3 most successful ones, and I didn't do this process on the 3 least successful ones, which of them do you think has been more successful? Obviously, the ones that I've put in most planning and preparation for have been more successful. So it's the 6 Ps. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Doing a one-page business plan and the 14 questions I asked you in this podcast episode are essential for you to build success, because you can hand this document off to anyone that comes into your company as well. Say you make a new hire, you can give them the document and they can look at it, read it, and then they're going to know they're on the right track, or they understand what your business needs are, what the goals are, and how you get results for your clients. If you bring in a marketing or a branding consultant or a Facebook ads person, everyone is on the same page of what you are trying to accomplish in your business. I'm here to save you a lot of time on this podcast. And as I've mentioned previously, I am going to save you so much time, effort, energy, and hassle by simply just implementing these things into your business. So what I want you to do is to make sure for this week's episode that you fill in these 14 questions that I've been through, skip back, listen to them, write them down, and then maybe report to me. Let me know on Instagram. So send me a DM and say, Tim, I've done it. What do you think? What's the next steps for you? On the next episode of the Success School podcast, we're going to be talking about planning your week, and stacking successful weeks together builds an incredible year. I think the Tony Robbins quote here is, people overestimate what they can do in 12 months, but underestimate what they can do in 10. So let's hypothetically say you have a successful week every week for 52 weeks of the year. Multiply that by 10. That's 520 successful weeks. Now, I'm going to give you a formula and a way to do that successfully every single week. So the likelihood of you building a successful 7-figure business in the next 10 years is virtually 100%. Once again, thanks for listening to this episode. I've thoroughly enjoyed teaching.